Todd, we've seen a lot over the last 2 weeks. It's finally time to put the pads on, go to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, and put everything to work. Sean Payton talked 2 days ago, about the plans they wanted to implement for this first preseason game, getting ready to go face the Vikings. And a guy he'll surely watch is rookie Eric McCoy.
Well, Eric McCoy has taken the reps at #1 center probably for the last week and a half. So we're going to see him at center. Now you're going to see possibly Cameron Tom back there as well at some point during the game, maybe Nick Easton, who's also worked at center. But this is Eric McCoy's job to lose, let's be quite honest. So very anxious to see him out there. He has gotten very good reps in camp. He's gotten better and better on the mental aspect of things. So going out there now against a new opponent, that's something I'm sure he's very excited as well, because it's his first professional football game.
Let's go ahead and hear from Sean Payton on his thoughts on Eric McCoy going into this week.
You know, we've seen a lot of good things. I like how he's picked things up. I think he's strong inside, and I think each day you see progress. So I think, you know, discussing the personnel the other day in the meeting, we felt like, especially since the pads have come on, we've been able to see some things that are encouraging, and yet there's still, you know, a number of things, third down, 2 minute, some of the protections that he's working through, but I've been real encouraged.
How does the like kind of relationship building on that line where when you got a rookie at center, you know, the guys kind of have to...
Well, look, there's veterans, you know, both to the right and left, guys that have played a lot, Larry and Andrus, obviously Teron and Ryan. You know, I think that's what happens. You come in and look, the center is an important position. Max was a real good leader, a good communicator, and I think Eric can be the same. You know, I think you know, as he's getting more and more familiar with what we're doing, you saw a consistent player at the college level, at a real good college level, and so it's just, you know, each day working on, you know, getting better, working on the things that maybe are new or a little different.
I would say that I'm pretty close to being where I need to be. The calls aren't complicated, but of course there's still things versus different defenses that our team runs that I have to get better at.
Another guy Sean Payton and everyone else is going to be looking at today is Teddy Bridgewater, who will be suiting up for the Saints. Again, the last time we saw him was against the Carolina Panthers last year, right before playoffs. And of course, what better time to get some playing time than versus your old team?
Yeah, no question about it. Now, Teddy's had a great camp. Not a good camp. I think he's had a great camp. He's gotten better and better each and every day. He's been accurate with his throws. He's been decisive with his throws. So we don't know officially. We would assume that Teddy Bridgewater is going to start this game, though we don't know. Again, Sean Payton has not announced that. We would assume Bridgewater is going to play at least a half, and any rep he can get in preseason is going to be big for him.
Another guy out here who's facing his former team is running back Latavius Murray, who's seeing his old team for the first time.
No question about it. Look, Murray was injured for a couple days, but he's back out here. He's getting a lot of reps. He's definitely a guy who is much more impressive in pads. And I'll tell you what, Caroline, he's going to be asked to do things in this offense that he really wasn't asked to do in Minnesota, specifically catch the ball out of the backfield. Got to be a receiver in this offense.
Let's go ahead and hear from Latavius Murray on what he had to say about facing his former team.
When you're able to go out there and hit somebody else, especially when you've been practicing against your own guys for, you know, now here a few weeks, and then obviously in the OTAs as well. So to go out there and hit, you know, somebody different and you know, it to be some real football, be live. You know, I'm looking forward to it, and obviously it's my first game in these colors, so I'm excited.
Does it feel good just to run over that first guy? It's like, I mean, it's been a couple of months there. It's not your own team running over.
Yeah, it's gonna feel really good. Hopefully we get you know, hopefully we go out there and obviously have a, you know, good outing. Being the first time we step on the field, that's what it's about. You know, for the plays that you are out there, make them successful. You know, do all you can do and be happy with the results at the end of the day.
Another position group that the Saints are going to be looking at this year is the wide receivers group. We know Michael Thomas came in at the beginning of training camp after signing his contract, but that allowed a lot of other receivers to step up and show what they can do.
Yeah, no question, Caroline. Look, Michael Thomas is going to get his. We all know it. He's going to be upwards of 90, 100 catches yet again, just because he's that talented. The question this year, and especially in the preseason, is who is going to step up and be another go-to type of guy for Drew Brees. We know Teddy Ginn is a vet as well. He'll get his catches, but can Traquan Smith, who had such a good camp last year in the beginning of the regular season a year ago, can he continue his growth, especially on the mental aspect of the game? Each of the wide receivers that you mentioned have done things during camp. Are we going to see Emmanuel Butler? Are we going to see him play? Simi Cobbs, we've heard his name as well out there. So can they do what they have done out here on the practice fields in the Dome?
Traquan Smith mentioned the other day that he was going off of athletic ability last year. This year he knows the playbook a little bit better, and he feels much more confident in this offense. He was going 80% last year, this year he's going to go 100%. Austin Carr is another guy that we heard from yesterday talk about the competition in that receivers room. Let's go ahead and hear from Austin Carr.
Sense of urgency is high. I feel a hunger from the wide receivers to the quarterbacks, running backs, etc., to really whatever blind spots we've missed last year, whatever parts of our game that prevented us from getting to the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl, we want to cover those now and cover as much ground as we can before the season starts, because it's a 16-week grind.
What has the competition been like within all of the wide receivers that you guys have here in camp so far?
It's been very high, very talented group. It's an honor to be a part of them. You know, some guys get nagging injuries, and you know, thank God that hasn't happened to me yet. But it's been extremely competitive. Raises the bar of everybody from Mike on down to the newest rookie.
Looking forward to seeing all of the pieces come together on Friday night. Again, make sure you tune in on Fox 8 to watch the New Orleans Saints versus the Minnesota Vikings. You'll be joined by Joel Myers, John Stinchcomb, Jonathan Vilma, and Megan Payton.